if actually initiated in, I would say, real initiation, you would have at least the name of Guru, Paramaguru, Parameshtu Guru. I would not even consider the guy initiated into any sampradaya if he does not know the name. Of course, he would know the name of his Guru, but who is the Paramaguru? Did the Paramaguru have any adhikar? Did he have the Parameshti Guru?
You don't get to read books and further your knowledge in music beyond a point.
Beyond a point.
So you can do that as a basic exercise. But the furthering of music knowledge happens only with the repetition. Learning music from a proper guru is one step of learning the art itself. The second step is to sit with yourself. The second guru is yourself. So you sit with yourself and repeat.
People have killed themselves. People have killed their children. People have done crazy things just by relying on that person, so-called guru, who would not let the students examine the teachings in light of arguments and in light of the Shastras. So that is not our tradition.
Shrimatre Namaha. Namaskara, everybody. Today, I have the opportunity, and rather, I should say, I am fortunate to conversation with one of my most important Shiksha Gurus. And along with that, Shri Sivasri Skandaprasad ji, most in Southern tradition, will know her for our bhakti-centric contribution to art and literature, and she's into many things. And Acharya, as we all know, more than a scholar, for me he has been a guru. I have never seen him as a scholar. He's a guru of a parampara which is known as Sarva Amnaya Parampara of Nevar. And Sivasri ji, she belongs to a traditional Smarta family. Both have one thing in common, that is, they are deeply devotional and they are deeply dedicated to what they do, and there is a semblance in that. One is dedicated to arts, music, and also there are some of our concerns which will eventually come to. And Acharya Shri also shares a lot in common with her. They are working together on many projects, and thus we bring both of them together here. I would start the conversation with Acharya Shri, and whatever I am going to ask actually has relevance for in both the fields that you people are dedicated to. I can't categorize both of you because the Western audience might know him as a scholar, but for me he is a proper Sampradayika Guru. And Sivasri ji, even though the rest of the world may know you as a classical vocalist, as a musician, as an artist, but for me, the entire thing somewhere is, as I have observed, is rooted in bhakti, or somewhere it is rooted in religiosity. It is not just something very secular in nature. It shows through your eyes and expression that there is something that has got to do with bhakti, or there is a deep rooting in sampradaya. So I will start with Acharya Shri. I won't go to the term tantra that has been much discussed and talked about. Somehow I prefer how you refer to it repeatedly as Agamas, because I like your definition of what you explain tantra in that through that terminology. As a guru of Sarva Amnaya Parampara, how would you say what is the Agama, which the audience can understand? What is it about? What are the Agamas?
Thank you, Prantik. So basically, yes, you brought a lot of issues in the preface, and Tantra as a category has limitations. First of all, when we are trying to introduce to the public some unique ideas, and if the categories themselves evoke completely different opinion, different perception, we sometimes need to find another category to reintroduce the same material. And I'm not inventing a new category. Actually, Agamas go before Tantra became a universal category. That's one of the things why I am leaning. I'm never avoiding the word Tantra, but I'm preferring the word Agama. You tapped very skillfully. But there is more to it. When people today do Tantra, they pick up some deity, they pick up some practices, no matter how opaque it is, and they are in God knows which chapter of which particular Agama, which particular Tantra, and they have zero concern to rest of that very Agama or forget about the rest of the Agamas, their interconnectedness. It is like I pick up one of your sentences from the whole conversation and then try to take the worst out of it. It is what is happening in people's appropriation of Tantra in society. There are 92 Agamas. All these 92 Agamas are coming out of Shiva Vaktra, are revealed through Lord Shiva. In the conversation with the Mother Parvati, the Skanda Kartikeya and Mother Parvati, depending which context we are talking about. So you can see this Sarva Amnaya, we shouldn't think of as a modern or Newar or Nepalese category. You can see like from the original Agamas themselves. See, Agamas themselves say how these Agamas are coming out of the Panchavaktra. From the faces of Lord Shiva. That is why, what is Sarva Amnaya? Is all 5 Amnayas or sometimes 6 and all 6 Amnayas, meaning coming out of Shiva Vaktra. So, by stressing on Amnaya, I'm stressing, particularly calling the Sarva Amnaya, I'm talking about all the Agamas, not exclusively to some particular Tantra that suits to somebody's fantasy. And there is even more to it, that what people are doing is they are focusing on rituals and practices and muttering some mantras and waiting for some magic to happen. And then if it doesn't happen, tomorrow they will say it's all wrong and something wrong happens and then they are messed up. But Agamas give you the philosophies. Without philosophical foundation, all these so-called practices are leading to some type of occult. People do not know why they are doing, and they are doing it. That's dangerous. So I give you a really fine Mercedes, wonderful car running, and I give you to drive. You just do not know what you are doing, and you started running around it, you will kill people. So people need to know the system. That is primary. To actually knowing the function, you need to go to like Qutub Minar or somewhere, you know. So that's like application. Where do you want to go? That's an application. But the broader thing is, how does it work? What is it for? So those are philosophies. What is it for? It's for nirvana, moksha. And that already changes the whole attitude towards why you use these shastras. And there is final thing about the choice of the Agama is people from Nepal, I'm one of them, like to believe that we have all the tantras.
You're for the whole world.
Yeah, we are all in all. And I have met similar people from Kashmir. I used to think that we only have that type of people in Nepal. But that type of people, unfortunately, are everywhere. And Agama is a universal category for all over the Indian subcontinent. Whether you have the southern or the northern, it binds everybody. Whether you have the Skanda Kartikeya or you have the Kalika Kulakrama or you have the Tripura, it binds everything. And it's not even about Advaita. You have the Dvaita, you have the Dvaita Advaita, you have Advaita. It's not even about focusing one type of philosophy. So we need a universal category that binds us philosophically, theologically, also geographically. Because we are culturally one people, you know. And I found that in these categories as Sarva Amnaya or Agama, a broadly binding category. That's why, that's why.
Sivasri, like just Acharya Shri has said, that there is a commonality between all the practices of this particular knowledge system, which is called as the Agama. If a person traverses through the entire subcontinent, is this also something like in music, like as a Carnatic vocalist, while conversing with another vocalist, like say from Western classical, would you hit a chord and somewhere find something as a commonality in the knowledge system?
Interesting question, Prantik ji. First of all, thank you for the introduction that you gave. That was an honor.
Shrimatra.
I wouldn't say that it is also common for music because it's not different at all. So it is nada at the end of the day.
Nada Brahma.
And it is no different from mantra. It is no different from the japa that we do. We just use different syllables, different words, but ultimately the effect that the mantra japa, the energy from the yantra and the practice of tantra ultimately all culminate in nada. And it is quite surprising that we are talking about these two as different subjects because we perform different activities, we call ourselves from different career spaces, but it is ultimately the same as we also introduce kids who come and learn music. We introduce music as the notes Shadja and Panchama evolved from the faces of Lord Shiva.
And you are giving Diksha. It is a lineage. You are giving Diksha to them through musical notes.
Guru Parampara.
As a Guru Parampara. Like Sivasri ji, as you might know, in musical system, if I am going to introduce you to a certain community, they would directly trace your lineage, and you will also like present you yourself as part of a particular lineage. I am a classical Carnatic vocalist. I learned from this guru. So there has a Abhivadana. There is a sort of a, so this guru comes from this guru, and
there is a tradition.
There is a tradition, there is a lineage. The concept of lineage very much irrespective of whichever knowledge system it belongs to. But why is it, Acharya Shri, that when every Indian knowledge system, there is a strong concept of a lineage? Because even if we go to an Ayurvedic doctor also, there also he needs a certain level of certification that he has the eligibility to prescribe me certain medicines. Likewise, if I am going to certain vocalist, the cross-checking will happen that which parampara she belongs to and how much she has learned from her guru. But tell me, when it comes to the very popular perception of tantra as different from agamas, I don't know if I am right or wrong. You would be better to correct me. I would box tantra within agama, and now the popular conception about tantra is, it is not a knowledge, means there is no clear idea of a parampara. In other knowledge systems, even in religious knowledge systems, like if we say for a Vaishnavite system, this is person, he comes from the Vallabha sect, that person comes from the Pushti Marga, that person comes from the Nimbarka Vaishnava. Likewise, in the Shaivas also, that person comes from the Shaiva Siddhanta, he took Diksha from this and this Adhinam. So, be it music, be it other documented religious systems, there is always the very concept of parampara or sampradaya. When it comes to tantra, why is it just like a sort of a random quack giving anything? Like I would recall an incident. A friend of mine, she was a colleague of mine, and she was chanting mantra of the yellow goddess and Bagalamukhi, if I did say, and she was facing certain problems in her life. It increased rather. Now, when she came to me, I inquired that what are you chanting? She said that I am chanting this and this. Who gave it to you? I was given by my father's colleague. Does he have the authority to give it? On what basis were you given? They were, and I'm just drawing the analogy because this is something which is very pretty much common across the world. Yeah. They don't have an idea who is authorized to give a certain teaching. They don't even treat it as a teaching. It is rather taken as some kind of what in popular Indian language is stona totka. Nothing more than that. Why the concept of a sampradaya or a lineage is absent in popular public perception in tantra?
When we are using the category tantra, broadly that fits within the Kaula system. Because then Kaula is a particular type of practice, and not all the tantrics are Kaulas, but like the Siddhantins are not Kaulas. Therefore, when I'm using the word Agama, then it's not exclusively to Kaulas, but when we are using Tantra per se, let's go to Kaulas. And there are like many types of Kaulas. If you read Shakti Sangama Tantra, there are like 16, 18 different types of Kaulas, Purva Kaula, Uttara Kaula, Vandikera. all these different groups, subgroups of the Kaulas. But ultimately, it boils down to tracing the lineage from Guru Matsyendranatha. Matsyendranatha is the founder for the Kula system in the Kali Yuga. So all the Agamas, Tantric Agamas I'm talking about now, they will be predominantly Shakta, and then they will have the triangle, the 4 Peethas, with the Kapuja or Kamarupa Purana Girijalandhara Ojjana, with the Khaku Mema, Khagendranatha, Kurumanatha, Meshanatha, and Matsyendranatha. But these 3 other gurus are more like a Yuga gurus from different yugas. And then after Matsyendranatha, how do we trace our Guru Parampara? Like within the order I have, like we have Vasishtanatha with counting these many gurus, with Dasakandharanatha counting these many gurus, Vyameshi Devi, one other yogini, with these many gurus. And so they had till one time explicitly numbered, like the manuals I have, my own guru manuals from 12th and 13th centuries, of dated that time I'm talking about. I'm not saying written that time, but at least the available manuscripts from those eras. But what happened to the students afterward? Because this has gone for such a long time, it became impossible to continue repeating the name of each and every guru. And for anybody who is initiated, so because we need to libate, no? In every day's Mandala Puja, we need to do the libations to not just the guru, but the Parama Guru and the Parameshti Guru. But yes, there is a little gap because there are some manuscripts also. I worked for a long time in National Archives in Nepal, and then there are some handwritten books, tracing some medieval names of the lineage holders. But, it gets crazy because they're not just few people. And everybody who has the adhikara, Sarva Samrajya Nirvana Diksha, these are categories in Tantra, then they could be acharyas. It's not controlled by an institution. It's like everybody with that level of training could go and teach and start their own lineage, their own order. So if you have completed your training, then you can start teaching your students, just like professors today, So I have my PhDs and I get some students to teach me. I can teach. She has the skill. She can teach. Not like now she needs to get a permission from some institution, authority, So because our society was a free society, not controlled by the churches, so our gurus enjoyed that freedom. They were not controlled by Shankaracharyas. Okay, we will not consider you a guru. Because there are these problems. The problem you are addressing is the loss of some of the masters in between. We have lost some of the lineage holders' names. But the counter argument would be, if we had kept the other way to keep it alive, like in Shankaracharya's, you can trace from Adi Shankara all the way to present day Shankaracharya. But there is a strict control, by the institution. And we don't have that of a strict control. People learn. It has both the consequences. Everything has. Good because people can learn freely.
For example,
but bad because then we don't know how many fake people are going to come.
For example, Sivasri, for an adikshita, uninitiated, a common person, both a classical vocalist and a tantric guru are more or less the same. How you are teaching somebody Are Agamas, and how he is teaching the tantric system, he has no way to confirm what I am taking is whether genuine teachings or not. But here in the musical system, I might say that there is a clear confirmation that yes, I have now the Arangetram, and I don't know, there are certain levels of practices after which the guru in a non-institutional manner kind of qualifies you.
According to me, in music, it is easier to understand whether you are learning from a genuine guru or not, because ultimately you will be able to
cross it, because you are doing it in the front of the public. So both the initiated and the uninitiated, both you are coming in front of both.
If you do not, if you're not able to sing, then either the student or the guru has failed.
Exactly.
And most part of it will be the guru. And we do have schools, we call it Bani in music.
Could you please further elaborate?
Yeah, just like how we have the different paramparas in
Amnayas.
different amnayas, we have banis, we have schools of music, we have schools of dance. But again, like Acharya ji mentioned, there should be something like Sarva Amnaya for the arts too, because the same composition, say for example of Muthuswami Dikshitar,
Yes.
the same composition is sung in so many different ways by these different schools, but ultimately what is it that they are trying to do?
You are singing Abhangas.
They're finally, I'm singing
Abhangas. You sometimes also go to Hindustani classical.
I sing compositions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes.
I sing compositions of Mirabai.
Yes.
But the essence of the song,
Yes.
it could be a Hindustani rag or a Carnatic ragam. It is just the way we present it changes.
Exactly.
But ultimately the standardization has to be found at some point where we all lead towards the same goal. We are all walking towards the same end goal. So it all comes under one.
Then Acharya Shri, what is the solution here? Means I don't know what is the solution or not solution. I don't know.
More than solution, what is scary
Yes,
is
it is actually
if I want to take Sivasri's job,
Yes.
the world will laugh at me.
Yes.
I would fail day one. If Sivasri somehow decides to take my job, she can easily, like, I know Tantra, come on, and then I'll give the mantra,
Yeah, that is what makes it scary for the public.
But I don't think
there is
that's
no
as
criteria.
easy as
No, there is no criteria in society of what makes one as an Acharya for the as a third person validation process.
Yes.
And that is why, Aprantik, I'm again going back to Agamas,
Yes.
that this is not how things started.
How?
This is not how things were. Like you go to any, like Nitya Shodashi Karnava, that is the primary text of Sri Vidya. That does not spell the mantra before giving you this Matrika Stava, and the entire philosophy is given there. The mantra is not even spelled, and you cannot just read, because this is a single book is Bhamakeshwari Mata. Within that first section is Nitya Shodashi Karnava, second is Yogini Hridayam.
Yes.
You cannot master on one chapter of the book and not know the other chapter of the book. The Yogini Hridayam deciphers the philosophical meaning of what the mantra is taught in the first section of the book. So this is a part of the Agama, and you are first given the entire metaphors, how it works, going deep into matrikas. And then you move to the connotations of matrika with the mandala. And then you are brought down to the mantra. And then what the second section does, it now goes back from the beginning, starts deciphering the deeper cosmological, metaphysical correlations and your embodied experiences. It just boils down the yantra within your body, the correlation. And so that is when you can be Dikshita. That is when you can have initiation. You could not imagine having Diksha and not have the study of Agamas. Can you say this is the case today?
No.
How can you have the authority on Diksha and not have Agama on you?
And not have.
So it would be inconceivable in the Tantric orders, as long as these Ghara, Chumma, all these actual Gurukulas. Tantra also had Gurukulas.
Could you please give me a few certain examples?
So how do you think these 50 Peethas even came into being?
Yes.
These were sadhakas, not randomly muttering crazy things. People would go to these Peethas, and then they would be given these Agamas by the Gurus, and then they would have to study. Vatsar parikshitaya datavyam vatsarardhoshitaya cha yogini. Just do not teach anybody. Test him for 6 months and then see if he is qualified for it. And then there is this Samaya Diksha. Even in the Shakta order, like the way I was given, is a Samaya Diksha. You just get the Samaya order Diksha. Within Samaya Diksha, the Guru is checking, do you maintain Brahmacharya? Today people come for Tantra not to practice some Brahmacharya.
There's an entire concept of shodhana, or even in music, I think there will be a concept of shodhana, the purification, the purificatory process which the guru will make the disciple go through before even divulging anything. Acharya Shri, I want to ask, like, would it restrict? Because something like music has also certain commercial value. People would be agreeing to go through those processes because they have to furnish a career out of it. They want to. In Tantra or the knowledge systems, there are two categories. One who are actually trained to become a scholar, and somebody who would be coming as a seeker and just a practitioner along with the rest of the responsibilities of life. How would but it is on their shoulders that the entire ecosystem runs. It is the perimeter, and then there is the core. So the perimeter also has to be brought under the administration of the Agamas. How does an Acharya, an Agamic Acharya, view the regular people and one he has to train as a proper student? Are these two categories different, or they go through those same processes?
Not everybody goes through the same process. Samaya Diksha is the same for everybody. Everybody gets a flat out the same diksha, and then you do not choose, at least in the order that I know of. It's not, can you give me mantra of Baglamukhi? And Guruji would simply change, and not just like change away. He would throw us out. How did you let him come all the way up here? Because that would be our mistake, to allow the person to go. But then there will be Shiva Diksha and the Shakti Diksha and the Mandala, but that is equal to all. But then people, after that basic level initiation, they are happy.
They're happy. Exactly.
You know. And then, but the real students, and it's not that because he's like 60, therefore he's not a real student. It's not that, but some among them will be the real student who will not be satisfied by that much learning, and they will bring the Agamic knowledge, and they will complete the practice we call Purascharana. They will be repeating like crazy enough times that the mantra starts repeating in their head even when they are not thinking about it, even whatever they are doing, you know. So then after that, the Guru has somehow the ability to see that he is serious enough, sincere enough, and not trying to make a market out of it. And it's like a lot of factors are checked. Is he just trying to, you know, be a quick teacher so that he immediately can start making money or something? So gurus are very keenly observing these things. And then that is one of the reasons why the actual, real, serious tantric sadhana and tantric practices became so rare in India. Although there is so much of attraction and so much of, vulgar application of tantra, why real, serious sadhakas are so rare is because the gurus were very selective.
Was there a kind of an limit? Because in any kind of education, there is always something which is called as a student-teacher ratio. Because the guru will be able to decipher knowledge at a single point of time only to a this much certain number. Otherwise, the teachings won't be. Was there such kind of a concept in Tantra too, that the guru would be like limiting the teachings to a certain number at a particular at particular terms, that I am giving this teachings to the, because otherwise if it is getting out of hand, the guru would be finding it not feasible enough to control who is doing what in which place.
It could be limited, but there are other factors. Rather than saying a guru could not have more students, I would say this way, that the traditional Guru order had a greater access to students' life. If you were to sleep beyond 5 a.m., the Guruji would find out. Either I have to be ill or need to be expelled. It would be impossible to hide even the slightest thoughts. Forget about what you eat, or you have some thoughts, they would tap it. Okay, why they would be worried? He's having these thoughts. So yes, in the modern environment, it's getting more and more rare, or maybe even impossible. Okay, like I'm offering online courses. Do I know the minds of my students? I don't even know them. So then the question is it even right thing to be doing? So it's up to the mother to judge. Because what I have realized is, one thing was the extreme of control. And if we can somehow bring some of the best aspects, like the philosophy, to reintroduce it, and then force students to actually come with required hours of practice before even opening chapter 2. So that part I'm implementing. But not the level to which my teachers were able to implement the disciplines. And so it has, again, both the consequences, good or bad. I mean, some people will just come up and claim whatever I know. And even in philosophy, what is happening is, while I'm focusing on disseminating philosophies, it could lead to punditry, it could lead to sophistry, it could lead to people's ego, like, oh, I know philosophy, what do you know about it? People filled with devotion, like Sivasri, focuses so much on devotion. But in Tantra, without bhava, your philosophy means nothing, So the Tantra are not trying to negate philosophy, but when people are just focused on all these sophisticated ideas, but they can be bereft of any bhava, ultimately it boils down, like we say, it boils down to the bhavas you are having,
There is a certain kind of a dichotomy in the popular perception. Like I would ask Sivasri ji that in music too, I don't know, I would ask you go through two parts, I think. One is a theoretical part of the studies and then the performative part of it, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, we do have that.
So there is a system.
The theoretical part is for the general public that just wants to understand what music is all about. It's just like how people Google about Tantra. No, it is theoretical information that is there in books. For example, we have the Lakshana Granthas for music, starting from same Abhinava Gupta. Abhinava Gupta has written. So we have, on Natya Shastra, on Sangeeta Shastra, we have the Sangeeta Ratnakara, we have so many books. But when you just read the books, because this is a performing art, it's an art form that needs to be done sadhana, okay, and it comes from within. It has some individualistic angle to it, which the guru partly transfers and you partly transfer to what you perform. So theoretical part, yes, we do have. It is for say, let us call it a kindergarten book.
Fine.
For anybody who wants to practice the sadhana of music. So you learn the basic ragas that are there.
The study part, it doesn't go means somewhere. It is complete practice. After a point of time, the studying part stops.
It stops, yes. It does. It can be sung every day, but it will turn out differently. So it's something else, another energy gets added to the iteration that that happens every day. So I think just like how we have students joining under every guru, and they expect to get onto the stage in less than a month. They'll ask, the word arangetram that you use is quite popular in the south.
Yes, everybody is anxious to have their arangetram.
In 1 month, they want to learn 10 songs. I want to learn. So they have a song count.
Yes.
And they come with that.
This is a similar problem that is in Tantra also.
Yeah. So they don't understand the spiritual depth that each song has. The idea with which the composer has written the song. So for example, yesterday I saw an Instagram reel where a dancer has portrayed padam. Padams and javalis are a very different type of composition that are majorly from the Telugu kingdoms. Wherever they existed in the south. So the padams are generally oriented in a very nayaka bhav. Where the heroine is pining to rejoin with the love of her life and everything. But finally, in the last stanza of every song, you will see who the hero is. It will ultimately be a Shiva, Krishna. Yeah, and that aspect of the song is completely forgotten. So the dancers, be it the dancers or the musicians, primarily focus on the first part of the song where, all the laukika, as we
call it. The laukika.
Yeah, they have a chance to establish and express the laukika, and the last stanza is done once or twice just to bring the mudra of the composer, and they finish it and go.
There are a few memes I recall of many poets of bhakti poets or the Sufi music, that it would come out like the memes would come out like the last poem I wrote was not about your boyfriend. So
I know. Exactly. Exactly. It is so essential, because this dancer's reel that I saw, she had portrayed in the video just the part where she's waiting for her husband to leave and go join with Krishna.
yes.
But in the text, she has written that it is ultimately the all-pervading consciousness, Krishna. Who is ready to read the text below?
Acharya Shri, could a similar meme be about that the Bagalamukhi mantra that I gave you was not to like defeat your opposing political faction, but rather about realization. Something in the similar, because in the world, in the global context, I see there is a huge dichotomy. Somebody in another part of the world is completely focusing on the theory part.
Yeah.
And in this part of the continent,
Yeah.
everybody is negating it and just saying that don't philosophize it,
Yeah.
just practice.
Yeah.
And it is all about your personal experience.
Yeah.
How long does personal experience validate genuine realization? And how much important is the teachings that come through tradition that is important to be given with each, like say, if somebody is giving, the guru is giving the mantra of a particular deity, some details has to be given about it. Otherwise, what is going on in rampant is people are just doing the mantras, but along with that, as you said, that in the Buddhist practice, you said that there is a teaching of the sutras along with the imparting of a teaching, similar to what I would say to Sivasri ji. So how do you address this context? Because there is a dichotomy. One part is completely, and I learned from you actually that the idea of jnana karma samuchaya.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is how it works. You go to start practicing something.
Yes.
You take some diksha and then sit and quiet and you start doing something. Some experiences happen.
Yes.
By the way, if you didn't take any diksha, you sat and just started breathing regularly, started watching, something unique experience comes down.
Yes.
You go to some temple, you go to hike, you know. So the thing is, there is no shortage to mystical experience.
Yes.
There is no shortage to something looks like a divine experience.
Yes.
The encountering divine experience. Even the experiences that make you feel like you are enlightened, self-realized, Mukta Purusha.
Yes.
There are these experiences.
Yes.
So what people, the public does not know is having an experience is nothing.
Exactly.
It's not just insufficient, it is nothing.
It is not.
It can be replicated, it can be simulated, in particularly when you go to mental states, when you start repeating yourself, I am so sad today, I'm feeling really horrible today, everything goes against me. You just think like that 10 minutes, you will start being sad, you know. You can evoke certain emotions just by calling it. So if the same applies to these mystical experiences and the drug-induced experiences also. And then in the West also they have compared drug-induced experiences with mystical, and there are many people I have met, actually, not one or two. They say it's a shortcut, you know, just have some drugs and it's so shortcut for tantric experiences. So the whole world is focused on having some experiences. What they have not ever been observing is these experiences are not leading anywhere. I wanted to not have anybody to learn as my disciple. I just was happy as a professor. But when I accepted some students, and then more, I'm learning so much. Not of the book, not of my sadhana, but a completely different dynamics of how easy it is to have some of the most amazing experiences, but to not have any transformation. Spiritually, you are in the same gutter that you were there before. Your thinking about the world, about yourself, your relationship with your relatives is not evolved. You are not some Mahatma, like a great being, but you are constantly having amazing, very rare experience. So how do you know this is the sought after experience that grants you liberation? So then, how is it maintained in the way I'm telling you from the Agamas? So like, for example, Abhinava Gupta says, Trisrota samidam jnanam gurutaha shastrata swata. So there are three flows or three channels for this realization, this knowledge. One comes through the Guru, another through the Shastras, and third through your own personal experience. Not like either or. You are supposed to combine them all. You don't just go to Guru and not go to Shastra. You have to compare. You have to, there are two types of Shruti. One is the Guru, another is the Agama. And you have to cross-check whether your Guru is teaching is whether is in accordance with the Agama or not. So already Shastras mandated that. What can you do? Shastras cannot come to your house and tie you with a rope and force you the laws, Shastras can only give you the disciplines, the orders. So they said this is how it is to be done. And people don't do it. It's not the fault of the system. It is your fault. It's just like if you put the gun towards yourself and you are blasted, don't blame the gun, blame yourself. So another example, Abhinava Gupta says, how am I going to have that check? He uses Tarka-agama swanubhuti. Tarka agama swanubhuti. Do not, he put swanubhuti at the end, personal experience at the end. First use your logic. Does this sound logical? And then agama. Is this in accordance with agama? Today, when we are seeing so much of corruption in the field of Tantra, then they have set this aside. They have thrown these Tarka and Agama.
Yes.
But no, it is not my Guruji. My Guruji said, don't use logic, don't use Agama. I am the authority.
Exactly.
Then you have to question your Guru. Why is he saying that?
Why is this?
Is he creating a cult against Tarka and Agama?
Tarka.
That is the corruption of the tradition. What happened is, like, since we didn't have any control, we didn't have any monastic order, and there were no the good thing was we did not have like the Western world where the churches not only controlled what is the Bible, but down the books that they didn't want inside the Bible.
Exactly.
Also, they even controlled, like they had a political power. So you could not interpolate some outside teachings into the system. In our world, we enjoyed absolute freedom, right? Nobody controlled nothing.
Yes.
You want to be Kapalika, be a Kapalika. Who cares? You want to eat an skull, eat an skull. You want to walk naked, walk naked.
Yes.
But while this type of freedom has its boons, it also leads to this level of anarchy that now the systems mean nothing. I was just thinking about one student, very genuine, modern educated, and she had one 8th grade dropout as a guru. And then the guru said, you should not listen to this guy. Because one time she asked him to listen to and didn't get anything. Of course, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
But then she said, my guru says, I can't listen to you. I'm so sorry. So this is not just, I'm not talking about just one person. This is broadly like applicable to our society today. Like there are some people who are benefiting from this ignorance, and then we are criticizing, like as elitist, this is blind, this is bad, this is wrong. We are not trying to allow these systems to come up to their best form, the way they were, the way they were meant to be, and we are picking the worst corrupt form of anything and then say, this is it, therefore we have to throw the whole thing, throwing the baby with the bath water. So this is what we are doing.
But how is it happening, Acharya ji? So when there's A and B and both are gurus, and when somebody is able to take an illogical explanation or knowledge that claim to be knowledge from A, And if B says that that is not the right way to approach this, or that doesn't have logic, follow the three, follow the tarka, follow the agama, follow your own experience, why can't that person understand this equal to the first guru's way of teaching?
What is happening, Sivasri, is like there was one guru, let me not mention the name, he made a sensation in the West that every individual has his or her own mantra, and the mantra that one person is practicing, repeating, does not work for another, just like every individual has their own unique genetic mark. So what he started doing is cooking up some stuff that is yours, cooking up another stuff that is yours. So everybody is so proud that Guruji actually channeled my own mantra and then he gave it to me. So we have allowed, so the fault goes back to again blind faith of the people. Every society has some or another superstition. Our faith is misused by these people who are crooked enough to exploit it for their own personal gains and create the cults and create a lot of trouble. And then what happens? Then the mud they throw affects those people who are doing sadhana in a remote, sincere, and then not even trying to come to the public. That's like, why did I decide to start speaking or start writing about it? Because I felt that. I felt the serious injustice against this largest capital of the Indus civilization that is being misappropriated and misused. And then that's basically, that gave me a mission, that no, we can't reserve to the way my guru would select only 4 students. I really don't want more than that. Then I thought, no, we need to have a broader, wider audience to go to this. Yeah.
With the introduction of artificial intelligence, like I would ask Sivasriji, is it possible that through artificial intelligence, the Guru-Shishya Parampara in music or arts would end?
There are chances, because it's already 90% there. We don't have Guru-Shishya Parampara compared to what it was.
Means you are saying it in affirmative or something which is in the darker aspect?
Both. One, because after the rise of YouTube itself, we lost a lot of gurus, Guru-Shishya Parampara, because people just started learning independent songs from YouTube. Independent songs.
And but is music or about singing independent songs?
That is why we have mediocrity today. And mediocrity is widely accepted. That is more dangerous than mediocrity itself. The acceptance of mediocrity, where there are a few people who are very popular today and who know a set of 20-21 songs. And they go everywhere with those 20-21 songs. They are crowd pullers. They fill halls of 1,500, 2,000 capacity, because that has been accepted. It's enough if you know just 20 songs that you've learned from YouTube. When YouTube can do this, artificial intelligence can write songs. It can write in Tamil, it can write in Sanskrita, it can write in Telugu, it can write in any language. You can bring about your own album with the help of artificial intelligence.
Yes.
The one thing AI cannot do is evoke the bhava in the listener. That is something only the artists themselves can do, if they themselves experience the bhava when they sing.
Is this bhava transferred from the guru to the shishya?
Yes, 100%. There is no doubt. The idea that the music that you are singing, for example, if I'm a teacher and there's a student right in front of me, unless I take the responsibility to impart the idea that that kid has to sing that particular song with that bhakti, with that surrender, it can be any deity. I can be singing a song on Shiva. Yes. I can be singing a song on the Jalakanteshwara that is there in Trichy. But I might be thinking about Krishna. Because I might be a Vaishnavite singing on stage. Do Vaishnavites refrain from singing any song on Shiva or anybody? But they truly believe in, Krishna or Rama or Narayana.
Yes.
The ultimate aim to present a song
or to sink at any point is to surrender. That surrender is the essential bhava that is to be transferred from the Guru to the Shishya, which AI can never do.
Acharya Shri, regarding this, because even checking through AI, I told AI just to type a mantra, means find a mantra by my name. And he actually took out an entire system, entire liturgy in the name of a Prantik Gupta, who is a deity.
Yeah.
It constructed. Now, the matter is, similar things are happening with AI in the field of Tantra, that, as you said about experiences, everything has become experience-centric in a highly overgrowing individualistic society. It is all about individualism. As we will now come to the main context of the wider sensitivity to our ecology and the wider human society, that now, since it is about experiences, they are saying that we can make you navigate through multiple kind of experiences by use of such and such kind of apps, and you will actually go through such and such kind of realizations which are to be felt through the practice of those religious doctrines, not doctrines, rather mantra. It is all about mantras and mantras. There is no sutras, as you said. How do you view it? The role of AI, will it corrupt, or can it be used as a checking point in some sort, or will it keep on corrupting the things in the high?
In a sense, there is a lot that's upon the seeker. If you look into the traditional, like the story of Dattatreya, the story of his gurus, not that all his gurus had actual textual shastric knowledge, There's a Josmani saint who said, my guru is caterpillar, but because the caterpillar turned into a butterfly, I can also hope to be divine. So, yes, in some cases, even these tools might function, like a completely fake charlatans working as a guru. One student in California who had been following one charlatan and realized that it's just like he was outcasted, got into scandals and everything, and asked me one question. We were just walking by, and now I realized that whole thing was a scandal. But I had so many divine experiences. Now, can you explain what is it? So, we need to know that there is certain amount of experiences that are upon the seekers. If you are a true seeker, you didn't get a good guru, but your search was genuine enough, then you would still have some experiences to make a progress, because your quest was sincere.
Yes.
But ultimately, what it boils down to is you need to understand two categories of information versus transformation.
Yes.
We can check into Google, AI, all kinds of things for information. The teachers had at one point, till my teacher's generation, till even when I started teaching, my role was to give information. But then, when the Google started taking control of most of what we do in modern life, I came to realize that any student who is sincere enough to want to read this already has access to all the information. They don't even actually need me. So then I said, what am I doing here? And that is also what led me to reinvestigate in the Guru Parampara, that modern university education system of loading students with information is insufficient, because the teachers had a role to play, and that was not just to deliver, give you some information, but to transform you, to change your subjectivity, to change your persona, to make you rethink about what you think you are. So that would change the whole relationship of you with another person, with yourself and your body, with yourself, with your relations and the nature, the ecology. We have not. What is happening, a defect, I'm saying, of modern education, we have, advanced so much in disseminating information almost universally.
Yes. It's a blast of information.
So, but there's people with such sophisticated knowledge that would take me forever my life, or I may never learn, are with such lowly ideas and thoughts. There are these terrorists who are making bombs and blast themselves and others. Why would, if in the traditional Gurukula system, if you are trained to be educated with all the Diksha, do you think you would go to use your knowledge in those type of destructive activities? Because what is missing is self-transformation today.
Self-transformation.
People are so intellectual. I listen to people these days in the media. They are so smart, and they are so smart to misuse their intellect to just, destroy themselves, destroy the society, and that is what is creating a different type of problem for us. So the transformation, I don't believe that it is so easy for the machines or some softwares to transform us. So I'm not saying they cannot ever, because it's a lot about you wanting to transform yourself, but there is also a significant role our guardians, our teachers, our parents can play or do play in changing. No, you can't do that. And then you ask like, oh, but why? I want to do that. No. And then no, mom says that's no means no. And then for a while you'll revolt, but ultimately you will start seeing why your mother didn't let you do certain things you wanted to do. But today your AI is not going to be your mom. You are going to get the information for what you want to do. They cannot stop you, even emotionally manipulate you, emotionally give you love so much that even though you wanted to do something, but because mom says don't do, or Guruji says, Guruji didn't just discipline us. We wanted to be disciplined
Yes.
Why did we want to be disciplined in some of the ways that today's society would run away from? Is because they loved us beyond anything else. I myself left home penniless at the age of 12. My gurus raised me, and I'm here because of my gurus. They didn't just teach me. They didn't just download information. They created a being within me, the person that teaches in the globe. So this is what teachers could do. I don't expect Google to do that.
So the guru embodies the Shastra.
Yeah.
So as you said that there is a corruption in the guru and one has to cross-check. So where did this come in, this dichotomy that the guru himself is the Shastra, and the guru, you have to accept the Shasana or the regulation laid down by the guru, and then only through those regulations and discipline, you access the knowledge. Just like in music, the same thing is happening. You can't learn this, you can't learn this, I'll tell you when to learn. So in this, where does the disciple stand in this dichotomy? That will this guru stand both as the Shastra and also the one who is going to disseminate the mantras or the teachings, or he has to continuously keep on cross-checking it, because even the authority to teach, means to learn or to study about it, is also coming from the guru?
It creates a tendency on you. If I reflect on myself, I have a guru. I had a guru. He passed away in Nepal and trained me from the Samaya order to all the Shakta Visheka and going all the way to Sarva Samrajya Meda Diksha. And I had to do some 12, 13 Purascharanas, and those days colleges meant nothing, so I had plenty of time just to do japa. But even then, even after Nirvana Diksha and all of that, Guruji is like, fine, how long do I practice, Guruji? Yeah, as long as, and then there are like some practices, when are you going to teach me those things? So I'll teach you when you are qualified. But Guruji, I finished all this. No, you are not done. But Guruji, I finished all these chantings or whatever routine thing you gave. The thing inside of you is not fully changed.
Right.
And I'm waiting for that to happen. No, they would know. How would they know? They know, okay? So ultimately, when I offered this Tantra Gawara, the Tripura Gawara, to Swamiji when he was visiting Nepal, and then after he read this, I'm talking about Bharati Swamiji, and we were walking to Guyakali Pitha. After he finished reading that whole thing, he would never waste time reading students' writings, but he read that. And then that day, he just picked some water from the Guya Pitha And then he said, Acharya. Now, I became Acharya that way. He said, now you can teach. I will let you teach now, because he thought that I would not now mess up with the system. So it's when can you, yes, you get a Sarva Adhikara Diksha. But what does the Sarva means? All authority. And then you are allowed to compose the Shastra. But then look at the waste of the garbage you can start writing. How do you control that? Is like the meticulous observation of a student by the teacher. Not that the student can then never do mistakes, because human beings can change all the time. Therefore, gurus always say, don't make your name, don't ever look for publicity. Nobody in this world needs to know you. I chose to have, after all these Tantra and Agama, I chose to study Vedanta, and I did my PhD on Advaita Vedanta, and I was just writing and publishing in Advaita Vedanta, I just felt like this little shift in this time of my life, because I felt like there's a greater need, and nobody else seems to be doing it. Somebody has to throw himself into it. But I've tried just do philosophy. Like in the courses I offer, I just offer philosophy courses. I don't offer Tantra courses. I don't teach. Even the Vimarsa, like all these are philosophy. We just finished Spandadish courses. It's a philosophy conversation. I don't love talking about Tara and Kali and Bagalamukhi. I never do that.
So you mean to say, for the people who are listening, anybody who is talking about this directly or offering such kind of initiation should be seen as a red flag?
This is because people, you go, honestly, like if you just go to a Guruji and then said, I want Tripura Sundari mantra, and then he's just giving.
These are offered in camps, like large camps are set up and they are getting public.
It's a gimmick, it's no use. I've been to one temple, actually I got so grossed out. The outside of the temple on the wall, it's in America. So they had written it, if you want one Mahavidya Diksha, the charge is $250. But if you want in get-go all 10 Mahavidyas, then the charge is $1,000. So like imagine $2,500 now discounted to 1,000. You can just sit and listen to 10 mantras. You have all the Mahavidya Dikshas right away.
So people are buying gear or water like that.
If you feel that these Vidyas are the commodities to that same level, then you would be looking for love the same way. You'll put some money to buy love. You'll put some money to buy faith. You'll put some money to buy everything in your life, and you'll die empty, because nothing good is coming to you.